This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6. Coverage you can count on.
Tonight, medical marijuana patients in Florida are one step closer to being able to get relief from smoke.
I want people to be able to have their suffering relieved.
And new for 6, we found out smokable marijuana could be available as soon as dispensaries get the green light. After spending hundreds of thousands of your taxpayer dollars to fight medical marijuana, the state of Florida is ready to relent. Good evening, I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. Today's announcement by Governor Ron DeSantis clears the way for smokable medical marijuana and ends what had been a protracted, expensive legal fight. Investigative reporter Christopher Heath joins us live right now. And Chris, many say this should have been done months ago.
It really could have been done as far back as 2017. That's when the law actually went into effect. It was passed in 2016, so it's been going on for a while. If it had at the time, places like Knox behind me could be selling whole flower smokable medical marijuana. Instead, they can only sell vaping for medical marijuana. Now, that's partly because the Scott administration and the legislature has been fighting this for a long time. But as we saw today with Governor Ron DeSantis, as we've seen on other issues, whether it be water or the exoneration of the Groveland 4, Governor Ron DeSantis wants to turn the page from some of the things that Governor Rick Scott did or did not do. When Orlando attorney John Morgan put medical marijuana on the ballot in 2016, he expected smokable medical marijuana. So too did voters. But the legislature and the Scott administration disagreed. A legal fight ensued, a fight that ends today, leading to this moment of levity from trial attorney John Morgan.
First of all, I think litigation should always be the last resort. I think negotiating, I know it's going to sound funny coming from me.
Morgan's lawsuit against the state is now on hold, with Governor Ron DeSantis giving lawmakers two options: rewrite the law to allow smokable medical marijuana, or he'll drop the state's challenge to the Morgan-backed lawsuit. Either way, smokable medical marijuana is on its way.
I think the Florida voters who voted for that wanted them to have access to medical marijuana under the supervision of a physician. Whether they have to smoke it or not, who am I to judge that?
The state also signaling it'll open up access to more dispensaries and growers, letting the market decide.
I think we're in a different spot than we were 2 years ago in terms of there's probably more public support, for getting this right than there even was then after the 72%.
So again, there's really two paths to go forward here. Either the courts can act, the state backs away, the courts act, or the legislature can act. It looks as if the legislature is inclined to act. Both the leader of the House and the Senate have signaled that's something they want to do. Senator Gary Farmer, a Democrat, has already filed a bill to implement smokable medical marijuana. The legislature, for whatever reason, decided it didn't want to do this the last couple of years, but new legislators are in power now. A new governor is in the governor's mansion, and it seems as if Florida is ready to turn the page over the last couple of years and open up smokable medical marijuana, although it could be a little while longer, not just tomorrow or the next day, but maybe a couple more weeks or months before we actually see this hit the market. For now, reporting live, Christopher Heath, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Now, immediately after the governor's announcement, statements started pouring into our newsroom from other state leaders. New Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried said, quote, when the people overwhelmingly voted for legalized medical marijuana in 2016, they intended for the medicine to be accessible by patients in the manner which their doctor, not Tallahassee politicians, decides is best for their treatment.
The governor's announcement raises several new questions about medical marijuana. Channel 9's Ken Tyndall is live in studio with us right now. And Ken, the biggest question may be, how soon could smokable marijuana be available for patients?
Yeah, Greg, the short answer is it wouldn't take long, but exactly what happens next for the medical marijuana industry in Florida, we'll have to see. Now, right now, medical marijuana dispensaries provide a variety of oils and concentrates, pills and edibles in Florida. Even though state law currently bans smokable marijuana, we found out today it could be available fairly quickly. An Orlando attorney who represents dispensaries in Florida told us smokable marijuana could be available for patients virtually as soon as the state allows it.
Of course, it's going to be easier for the existing medical marijuana treatment centers to integrate that into their product lines because all of them are already growing the flower product. But now they just have to turn it into a concentrated oil product and to make medication for patients.
And she says that would not take very long. Tedrow says it's now just a matter of how we get there, through the legislature or straight through the governor's office. And there are some other questions, too. Will other existing regulations remain in place? And will a cap remain on the number of licenses for medical marijuana dispensaries if there is new legislation? We'll have more answers coming up in the coming months. Live in the studio, Ken Tyndall, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.